Hi everyone, Bill Newman here, voice of the County Royals, and I'm joined by part of the ownership group, Cole St Pierre. So Cole, I got a question for you right out of the gate, a two-parter. So since joining the ownership group, what was your vision for the first year? And then when you stepped in, and then how has that vision kind of come to fruition by the end?
Nice. Yeah, I think my vision coming into this season was, the biggest component I wanted was to be competitive on the ice at all parts of the season. I know home games were the most important for us to put a good product on the home ice for our community members. And, at the end of the day, that's our biggest goal, right? Is to build a community team here. And my vision was encapsulating competitive and community balance in that way. And, when I reflect back on the season, sometimes being a player and an owner is not always easy because when you're in the room with the guys, being a player, it sucks to lose those close games against all these really good hockey teams. But at the end of the day, we have to know that we're a year one team and we're building towards the Deseranos, the Tweeds, the Smith Falls. So it takes time to get there. So as an owner, it's really important to take those small wins that when you're playing those competitive games, you have lots to be happy about.
So obviously, first year ownership, there's obstacles. So is there one that you could maybe share with us? And then, what have you done to overcome that obstacle?
I'd say the biggest one is just being adverse to adaptability. Like, as you get going with the season starting, you're trying to fundraise money, you're trying to get the sponsors, you're trying to get the team together. I think reflecting back in August, we were probably sitting at 12 to 15 guys. So it was the biggest challenge for us was just trying to get that on ice competitive piece ready to go. And then also in the behind the scenes, you don't realize how much work goes into making all these great events. Yourself, you help us out tremendously. And so many other volunteers and community members that come out and support us with the gates, equipment managers, all this small details that comes together over the course of the season that I think is so important.
Now, you did touch on this, so you had all the successful, if you call them successful senior A's, you got your Desos, got your Tweeds, you got your Smith Falls. So they have really strong identities. So what are you doing to kind of build that culture up here and adapt that into Prince Edward County?
Yeah, and I think this reflects a little bit back to question one there with my vision as well. And I think the biggest thing we wanted is we knew that maybe not tons of wins were going to come down the pipe in year one, but the biggest part was being hard to play against. And the culture that we want to build is hard to play against, fun to be around, and community oriented. I think in Prince Edward County as a whole here, I'm very fortunate to have lived here my whole life. And it's such a big-hearted community for a small community that I think that kind of imbalances the team together as well. So
that's excellent. That's fantastic. I like that. So this goes right into my next question for you is, so obviously the community support, community involvement, you have all this stuff. So what are you doing to stay involved in the community, and how important it is to keep that connection growing because it is year one?
Yes. In that sense, we had a lot of great meetings with community members over the summer and even into the winter. I think one of those key ones being with Charlene Inslee, the president of Prince Edward County Minor Hockey. I just believe the relationship between minor hockey and senior A hockey is so important. We see so many dads on the team here when they got their kids out here, and we had that Prince Edward County Minor Hockey Night. I think that was one of the biggest nights that we've had here in Wellington. And in terms of a fan base, that's what we want to build towards, is all these great minor hockey kids coming out to support us so that we can support them. I know down the road here when we can introduce new revenue streams, we really want to try and support that minor hockey roots. So we're really looking forward towards that.
Right. So you did talk about growing the brand and your team's presence and the whole thing. So what does that brand growth look like over the next year?
Yeah, I think with brand growth, I think comes a lot of relationship building, community building. Our biggest thing this year was just trying to be out in the community. I think a lot about growing your brand is storytelling, right? And when I was going out in the summertime, I'm talking about the County Royals and Senior A hockey. And Senior A hockey, I think, is coming back around. Like we talked about, it used to be so popular. It kind of went away for a little bit, and now we're back into this really popular segment of Senior A hockey. So it was about storytelling, honestly, going out into the community and making sure that everyone knew about it, what we're all about. Because it is a different brand of hockey. It's a lot of 22 plus age players continuing to play competitive hockey, and that's probably my favorite part about it, is creating an avenue and a home for players alike and local to play hockey still.
Yeah, so the players do talk. Yeah. Right, so like last year, we were in the other league, the OSHL. It was you guys, Madoc, Trent Hills, and as the culture changed behind the scenes, I think one of the biggest things I noticed when I got here was what was going on by the dressing room. Right, lots of laughter tonight. Yeah. Game one for playoffs tonight. Everybody's nervous, but there's a looseness back there, which is great. So, what are you trying to put out to the players when they all talk to each other about what Prince Edward County can offer them?
Yeah, our biggest thing is just trying to make it the best experience possible. I know there's partnerships that we've established with key sponsors over the summertime, such as Metro. So organizations like that help us provide game day food, snacks, drinks, Gatorade, water, everything from making a great experience once you start to the rink. Serendipity Yoga does yoga with us. We do stretching before every game with her at home. It's a lot about selling the experience of playing a junior/senior A hockey style environment and taking it to the next level and making it really fun to be a part of. And this group here, we've had a lot of fun experiences with the polar plunge in the community. We've done the pumpkin fest together. We've done the golf tournament. I'm very fortunate that the charity game was amazing too. So there's so many great things, and that charity game I think was probably my favorite. At the end of the day, trying to figure out how the heck to get so much food out of the rink and to the food bank. We had over 800 pounds and $1,000+. So that was one of those big moments that I think that's what we can sell to be a part of, to answer your question.
That could have been almost off-ice training, almost getting all that out of there.
That's
so
right.
We're not saying the season's over. You're in pretty tough against Deserano. Obviously, they're first in the division, and you're coming in fourth, but it's going to be a matchup you got to win on them this year. So as you prepare for the ending of this season and then into next season, any little sneak previews for next year? What can you tell the fans about?
Yeah, we're definitely trying to stay focused on the remaining part of the season, but as we go into next season, I think what I'm most excited about is just the consistency of what we have here. We've built a great group of players and core already, so I'm excited to have everyone together and keep playing, right? With these established organizations, they have these core guys that have played together for 3 to 5 years now, and I'm excited for us to finally be a part of that and get going with our core group. And then as well, behind the scenes, we have so many great members joining us, and it only gets bigger and bigger. So I'm excited about building the team and growing an even better brand.
Well, yeah, the atmosphere back and behind the scenes is great. So I know you got to get ready for game one. So with the voice of the County Royals, Bill Newman, this is Cole St Pierre, part of the ownership group and defenseman, and we'll catch him tonight. Game one, Deserano coming up next.
Go Royals. Thank